story of the three school friends, or Sayyar Dabistani, is not just a modern concoction by modern historical novelists, but it's an old story that has come to us in various versions, and it posits that Omar Khayyam, who later became a great poet and astronomer and physicist and mathematician, that the great politician and state administrator Khaja Nizamul-Mulk, and that wonderful and mysterious rebel Hassan Sabbah, the leader of the Ismailis, were friends at some school, probably in Tus or Neyshabur, and that it was there that they made a pact with one another that the most successful of them should help the others as well.
This story is told and retold in a number of ways and has become part of the popular culture. In all likelihood, this story is not accurate for historical reasons, for differences in age and so on. But symbolically, it does represent something else.
My own humble understanding of Khayyam is that he was one of the most remarkable figures of Islamic intellectual history in Iran. And on the side, he did write poetry. I do not believe that he thought primarily of himself as a poet, but even the poems, if you look at it, always point to the significance of the present moment, of not wasting one's life. And if you understand the famous saying, As-Sufi ibn al-Waqt, the Sufi is the son of the moment, you will understand that this is very far from being something other than Sufi poetry. I always read his poetry as Sufi poetry. And he wrote that of all the ways to knowledge, that of Sufism is the best and the highest.
Khayyam is not a Sufi, nor is Khayyam a philosopher in his poetry. Of course, in his poetry there is a philosophical take on life. But when we say philosophy, philosophy in the context of Iranian and Islamic intellectual history has a very specific meaning.
I think Omar Khayyam was certainly not a Sufi in the traditional sense of the word, as Hafiz and Rumi were. Were there mystical elements in Omar Khayyam's thoughts? Certainly yes, but incorporating, relying, using mystical elements does not make a person Sufi.
Scholars may wish to debate whether or not his quatrains have any Sufi meaning or not. They're welcome to debate it. He himself tells you that he belongs to the Sufis.
Khayyam wrote approximately 13 or 14 works, depending on if we regard all of them to be authentic. He wrote 6 philosophical treatises. They are very short but very dense. In his philosophical treatises, Khayyam elaborates and comments on Abyssinian philosophy, in particular Aristotelian themes within his thought.
As far as his scientific achievements are concerned, of course the most important is in the domain of mathematics, his composition of the book on algebra, which brings to the peak the development of the science before modern times, and has played a very important role in the history of mathematics in both East and West.
He was also commissioned by the king to design a new calendar, a calendar which is a correction of the former one and also improves the accuracy of certain dates.